So I asked the universe, or nature, or whatever. I asked that space that fills all things and is everywhere. I asked for a sign that nature is a source for learning in ways that have yet to be discovered. It was answered days later, the space of time where one forgets that one is waiting for a response and has brushed the whole event off as whimsy. I was driving. In fact, I had just pulled out of my parking spot in the alley behind my mother's store when I saw a movement in my peripheral vision. The interior of my car is black, and this being was a creamy off-white. I have looked up its scientific name, which is Tibellus Oblongus, in layman's terms, running crab spider. In simplified terms, creepy pale spider about the size of a dime. What I noticed about this spider was that it was webbing its way down from the rolling down of the window knob beside me, climbing its way back up the door, and then repeating the webbing down and climbing up again. Not very descriptive, am I? It was the movement that caught my eye, and I believe that was the reason that that was the reaction it was looking for. Acknowledgement. Of course, the first thing I told it through my transferring my thoughts toward it was to let it know that I was in the process of driving, which required my eyes and 95% of my attention to be on the road ahead of me, and if it dared to touch me in any way, I would stop the car and throw it out the window, where it would be very likely run over and annihilated by another vehicle. There was a short period of silence, not even long enough for me to think that maybe it didn't hear me. I was receiving images that had been stuck in the car for a long time without the opportunity to safely get out, and it was at the point that it was hungry and desperate for the freedom of fresh air I could provide it with. It was so desperate that it was risking its life approaching me. I should have asked it questions, like what it was like to be a spider. I should have asked it if it could explain to me what it was like to see through 8 eyes. I should have asked how many other spiders it came across, and whether or not they form societies. I should have asked more questions, but I did not. I was satisfied at the time with the communication that we did share. Don't touch me. Help, I want out. What a thing to share with my other humans. Look, they can talk. That's all I know. Next time, I will ask for some earth-shattering knowledge pertaining to the life of a spider. Oh, this is not over yet. I get home, and this spider has been so quiet that I had almost forgotten about it. As I opened my door, I noticed it there, on this circular knob that enabled me to adjust my side mirror from the inside of my car door. It was splayed out, its body and all 8 of its legs completely flush with the knob. It was so pale compared to the black interior of my car, so quiet, so beautiful. I took my keys out of the ignition and held one of the keys close to the spider. If you want out, climb onto the key, I told it with my thoughts. I watched as it climbed onto the key, and I wondered if what I was assuming to be an interspecies communication was real. Could this be real, this trust it had for me, this compliance? As I watched this seemingly awe-inspiring act, I knew that any other time a scared spider would web its way down from the object it was on, trying to escape out of fear. This spider just sat motionless on my key, in the expectation that I would make good on my promise of its safe release. I placed my key into the grass at the edge of my driveway, and the spider was gone in an instant. No goodbye, no thank you, just gone. And then I asked myself, was that the answer I was looking for? Was that the confirmation that animals can communicate, and I have a greater good on this earth than diddly squat?